So you're tired of boring foods like steak and golden carrots that only exist to satisfy your hunger. You want something wacky, something zany, something funky. First up are fruits and veggies because apparently they're healthy. I wouldn't know. Tomatoes grow on tomato plants, obviously. And cactus pads can be crafted from a cactus. In survival mode, if you eat a cactus pad, it damages you and grants you the Youch advancement. Tomatoes can be found in various chests, and they also generate in bushes in the jungle. You cannot eat tomatoes. However, if you throw a tomato, it gets thrown. And if you're hit by a thrown tomato, you get a new effect, Splatter, which gives you this nice overlay and it makes you have friction like you're on ice on every block. Well, it just ended. Now, me personally, I didn't find that funky enough. So now we have, whoops, Purpabeans, which can be found inside of End City treasure chests. Now, the first time you eat a Purpabean, you'll get an advancement, and you'll notice that there's a new status bar above your hunger bar. This is your gastrointestinal distress indicator, also known as your flatulence bar. Yes, this is what beans are known for. Now, however many swirls of farting you have in your flatulence bar influences how powerful your farts are, and how far you can fling yourself. That was one bar of flatulence. 3 swirls of farting worth of flatulence in your bowel system thing is better. Anyway, that's 3 swirls. 5 swirls, which you get from 4 purple beans in a bucket crafted together, is that. Is this useful? Well, if you're trying to cross an end island and like you don't have blocks or an elytra, I don't know. I just wanted to code farting into Minecraft, okay? You asked for funky foodstuffs, not useful foodstuffs. Now, if you fill it all of the way up, you'll only ever be able to launch yourself 5 at a time, for balance reasons. Cause in this mod, we care about balance a lot. Like, a lot. A lot. This next item lets you tank a charged creeper like it's nothing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Popsicles can be found inside of the ice chests, in the ice rooms, in deep darks. When eaten, the first thing that you'll notice is an overlay similar to powdered snow, and you will repeatedly take damage if you're not wearing leather boots like I am. This is really annoying, and you probably don't want this. Ever. But that's not all. Above my health bar, I have this new status bar. You can see the numbness bar. Well, the more popsicles you eat, the number you get. I'm gonna leave myself at 2 numbness bar points right now, which is basically nothing. And here I have a husk with a diamond axe. If I spawn this husk, he will deal a lot of damage. That was not supposed to happen. But yeah, you saw he dealt a lot of damage. Well, the more popsicles I eat, the less damage I take, using this formula right here, where I represents the initial damage, N represents the amount of numbness that you have, and F represents the final damage, obviously. So if I just chow down on some more popsicles here, so that was not supposed to happen, but if you were watching carefully, which you probably weren't, but if you were, you would have noticed that I didn't even take enough damage for it to register on my health bar. It didn't go down at all. That is how powerful popsicles are. They can actually block up to 90% of the damage. I think I did the math right. I hope I did the math right. I mean, it's in the code. That was pretty funky, and it was pretty cool, in more ways than one. And what's the opposite of cool? Hot. So inside of jungle temples, you'll be able to find jungle peppers. When you eat these, you'll get a new status effect, spiciness. This effect will make it so that you set the ground beneath you on fire and leave a trail of flames wherever you walk. That's cool, but it's not really useful at all, is it? That's why you can smelt jungle peppers in furnaces to get you dried peppers. Dried peppers function similarly to jungle peppers, except they're even spicier. That's right, it lets you breathe fire. You can just, like, set fire to anything. You can set fire to your home, to your friend. You can set fire to public spaces. It's so epic. Another thing about these is that in survival mode, you will take damage of a custom damage type. Hey, so remember what I said in the market? You can set fire to public spaces. Yeah, that's not exactly true. And now I'm stuck here and I cannot escape. I mean, I guess I could. But I have a plan to escape. Intangiberries. When consumed, it'll give you this new effect, phasing, which lets you walk through iron bars and iron doors. But that's not it. It also lets you walk through glass panes, copper bars, trapdoors, doors, including iron doors as you saw before, as well as all glass, all leaves, all fences, and not brick. Huh, I bet you thought I was going to say brick because it's lined up with all the other ones. Something else that's pretty funky is bread. Well, not really. But you can craft it. My bad. You can craft it. Oh, there we go. You can craft it into a baguette. Now, the baguette is a pretty interesting combat item because obviously, as a combat item, it can be used to damage entities, but it actually has a pretty far reach. It has an extended reach, like similar to the spear. Another thing about it is that in this game mode, when you're damaged and you're missing hunger, you can actually eat the baguette in order to regain some hunger at the expense of some durability. So each time you eat it, you get half a hunger bar back, but you lose some durability. Stop, leave me alone. So, yeah, you can heal with it. Yay! Hopefully that was funky enough for you. Here I've given myself a chest with a shipwreck loot table, which you would find in shipwrecks, the treasure one, using this command. And these chests all could have been spawned in. Here's one. But the next item is chocolate doubloons, which will give you an advancement when you get them. And there are three different kinds of chocolate doubloons: iron, copper, and gold. When you eat these chocolate doubloons, they will apply a status effect that corresponds with their material. So, for example, for gold chocolate doubloons, when eaten, they'll give you absorption. And the thing that makes chocolate doubloons unique is that when you eat a second one, if you already have the effect, instead of just adding more, just redoing the effect, it actually adds one to the amplifier but cuts the duration in half. So you kind of trade time for strength. For example, right now we have about 10 minutes left of absorption 1. I'm going to consume a second one. You can see in the bottom there, we got extra hearts, even more hearts, and now we have absorption 2. And this should work up until the effect runs out, so we can just chow down on even more, like this, until the effect runs out. And you'll see we barely had any time at the end there, because it kept cutting the duration in half. but we did have a ton of health. Same thing with copper and iron, except that copper and iron chocolate doubloons give different effects. Copper chocolate doubloons give you haste and increase your level of haste, so they just let you mine blocks really fast, and you can stack it with a beacon. And iron chocolate doubloons give you jump boost.